Links to previous episodes are given in the video description, so don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video. Forsaken Luna, the Alpha's Regret. Episode 8. Chapter 81. Michelle's POV. My phone keeps ringing non-stop even after I have declined all the calls. I am not in the mood to talk to anyone, especially after Enzo left this morning for an impromptu business meeting to Spain. It is clearly a day's meeting, but I am already missing him and how I wish he will just come home. My phone rings again, jolting me out of my train of thought, and I roll my eyes to the back of my head before picking it up and pressing it against my ear. Hello, my angry voice resonates around. I am clearly ignoring your call and you are still calling. I am outside your house. Nicholas's voice filters into my ear and the frown on my face intensifies. How dare he? You sure have some nerves showing your face in front of me. Just come on out, Michelle, he blurts. This is important. You can talk to Enzo regarding anything. Nicholas, you and I have no business talking to each other, and the next time you call me, I swear you will regret it. I won't leave until you come out. He ends the call while I slam the phone on the bed before closing my eyes. He can stand there for as long as he deems fit. My thoughts are interrupted again when my mobile begins to ring again. The moment I see that it is Enzo on the line, a huge smile appears on my face and I hastily press the phone against my ear. Hello, my love, his husky voice filters into my ears. I miss you so much, baby, I tell him with a pout on my face. Come soon, my meeting is in an hour, I will be on the next flight home. Okay. Okay. Nicholas is standing outside the house. You should meet him. I don't want to meet him. I know you don't, and I don't want you to meet him too, but I hate the fact that he is standing in front of my house. Letting out a heavy sigh, I close my eyes for a moment. I will tell him off. Good girl, I love you too. After ending the call, I slip into a pair of comfortable home clothes before making my way out of the room. These days, I get so tired easily and all I want to do is lay in bed and take a nap. As soon as I come out of the gate, I see Nicholas, who is leaning on his car, and I have never seen a man more deranged than this one in front of me. He looks like a shadow of his former self. Well, karma hit him so hard. I want to laugh but I stop myself. He is already suffering enough. What do you want, Mr. Woodsborne? I ask him. Are you okay? This is the first thing that Nicholas asks me, and a scowl appears on my face. How dare he ask if I was okay? Is this even the right time for him to ask me such a question? If you have nothing important to say, I suggest you leave, because my husband does not like the fact that you are standing in front of his house at this time of the day, and I am supposed to be taking a nap and not out here. I am sorry, Michelle, he finally says as he begins to take slow steps towards me, for causing you pain and heartaches. I am deeply sorry and I want to make it up to you. I want to make up for the pain I have caused you, and I want to do right by you. For a moment I am silent as his sweet nothings continue to filter into my head. I must have loved this man so much in the past that he thinks he can still manipulate me. How dare he stand in front of me and say the word sorry? Does he even know the meaning of that word? The more I think about it, the more angry I become. Look, Michelle, he is still talking when my hands collide with his face, and for a moment he is stunned that I actually slapped him. Sorry. I blurred in anger. Did you just use the word sorry? Are you kidding me right now? You come in front of me and tell me sorry, so I should jump into your arms and tell you I forgive you? Is that what you think? We used to be so happy together, Michelle. We Don't you dare! I point my index finger at his face. Don't you dare bring up our past because I do not care about anything we ever shared. To me, you are my worst mistake and I hope the moon goddess punishes you for every single tear you have made me shed. I pause as I scoff, my hands folding across my chest. Oh, you are already being punished. Look at you, the almighty Alpha Nicholas looks like a wolfless prick and what more, you found out that the woman you left me for lied to you. What other punishment do you deserve? Death. My eyes darken the more. Do not show your face to me again, Nick, or you will have my husband to contend with. Do you even love him? Nicholas growls in anger as he rakes his fingers through his hair. You do not have the right to ask me that, so just get lost. Your life is in danger, Michelle, he announces, and my forehead curls up. Just before I can say anything, a sharp pain surges through my body and I immediately grab a hold of my stomach. Just as Nicholas tries to touch me, someone shoves him away. Get away from my sister-in-law, Izzy hisses in anger, and I can't be more grateful to her for arriving now. What is wrong with you, Mish? Are you okay? Her voice is full of concern as I nod in the negative. My tummy tears well up in my eyes as the pain intensifies. I will take you to the hospital, she tells me. I can drive, I hear Nicholas say, but Izzy scoffs. Why don't you take your pity party somewhere else, she snaps in anger before turning to one of the security men standing. Help me! The last thing I see before I close my eyes in unconsciousness is Nicholas tousling his hair and cussing out loudly. I gently open my eyes as I feel a familiar presence beside me, and this is when I see Enzo seated beside me, and he has an expressionless look on his face. A look of confusion flashes through my face as I see him. Isn't he supposed to be in Spain? So how come he is here? Enzo. I gently call out his name. You are here. How do you feel now? He asks gently as he tucks a few strands of my hair to the back of my ear. A lot better, I respond with a little grunt. I must have been standing for too long and that's why I felt the pain. What did the doctors say? They couldn't find anything, he tells me, and I see him gulp. It was just a pain that spiraled out of nowhere. The frown on my face intensifies seeing the man beside me. He looks a bit weird and I know for a fact that something is going on in his head. Are you fine? What happened? I have asked Lawrence and some other doctors to do a full body checkup on you and hopefully everything comes out alright, but you should take some more rest, my love. He flashes me a smile which I know is clearly fake. This is the first time Enzo is behaving like this and it breaks my heart into 1,000 pieces. Is he thinking about something? Is he thinking about leaving me too? Of course not. He gently grabs a hold of my hand and press a kiss on it. I am not leaving you, babe. You should get well soon for me, then tell me. Our conversation is interrupted when the door opens and Lawrence ventures into the room. You are awake now, a small smile on his face. Now Enzo can relax. What really happened, doctor? Why the sudden pain? I can't help but ask him. I am still trying to figure that out. You are perfectly fine and you shouldn't have experienced something like that. My heart skips a beat at his outburst as I gulp. Is the tumor back? Of course not, baby, Enzo tells me. You are perfectly fine. You don't need to bother yourself with such negativity. So what are you not telling me? I half yell. Why do you have such a look on your face? I am just worried about you, he tells me as he pulls me into his embrace. When Izzy called me and told me she brought you to the hospital, I was very worried and I had to leave my meeting to fly back to Los Angeles immediately. You know how I get when it comes to you, baby. He draws me closer to himself and I can feel his heart racing fast against his rib cage. I know something is definitely wrong, but I can't pinpoint it, not when this man has locked me away from his thoughts. After a while, he gently pulls away from me and cups my face in his hands, that fake smile still on his lips. You should take a rest and I will come back after making a call, okay? I nod. I don't want to bother him. The Enzo I know will tell me when the time is right. Just as he is about to stand up, his phone screen lights up and a name pops up on the screen. Nicholas. Enzo's POV. An hour ago. The moment Xavier brings the car to a halt in front of the hospital, I immediately alight and rush towards the entrance. I was in the meeting when Izzy called and I had to leave everything to come running back to America, and goodness knows I won't be able to forgive myself if anything happened to her. Just as I am about to enter the hospital, someone calls out my name and I turn around to see Nicholas taking long strides towards me. The moment I see him, my blood begins to boil and I just want to snap his head off his body. The nerve of him to show his face to me after what he did to Michelle. It is his fault that she is in the hospital now and dared to show his face here. What do you think you are doing here? I grit my teeth in anger as the inkling to grab him by the neck envelops me. I have come to talk to you about Michelle, he answers, and I clench my teeth together. Don't you dare take my wife's name with your mouth or I will rip it off your face, I blurt in anger. Don't even dream about it, don't give me that look, Nicholas grits. Her life is in danger and I am not here to exchange words with you. The moment his words reach me, a scowl appears on my face. Natalia did something and now Michelle has thrown in the midst of that. What? Look, Enzo, he continues. I don't like your face and I am still going to take my wife away from you, but for now I am telling you this because I am going to make sure I save her from whatever scheme Natalia is planning. All of this is related to the Xia clan and if you want to save her, we should make haste about it. I am going to protect my wife on my own, I tell him, anger radiating from me, and if you as much as go close to her, I will kill you alongside that wench. Don't provoke my anger. Not bothering to wait for his response, I turn around and make to leave, but his next words halt me. The moment Natalia hurts herself, Michelle will also get hurt. That's how bad it is. Give me a call if you need my help with that. He also turns around and walks away. Not lingering much on his words, I hasten towards her private room and this is when I see Lawrence coming out of her room. We appreciate your loyalty. Enzo, how is she? I ask him almost immediately. Is she fine? Lawrence heaves a sigh as he leans on the wall and crosses his hands over his chest. I can't seem to find the cause of her pain, Enzo. Everything seems perfectly normal with her. I do not know why she experienced something like that. My mind drifts off to what Nicholas said and I let out a sigh. Could he be right? I want you to do a full body checkup on her, Lawrence. Call in a team and do a thorough checkup. You cannot tell me that you are unable to find the cause of the pain. I won't take that. I will get right on it. I pull out my phone and dial a certain number and the person answers immediately. Find Nicholas and tell him to call me, Mustafa, I order, and I mean immediately. As soon as I end the call, my gaze intensifies as his words wind its way into my head again. If he is saying the truth, I am going to slowly punish Natalia, that she will wish for death, but it will be very impossible. But now the look in her eyes when she sees my phone light up with Nicholas's name, my heart breaks into 1,000 pieces. I can already hear her thoughts and how I wish it is not what she is thinking, but I am unable to tell her anything yet. She is going to freak out if I tell her what is going on, and I have to be 100% sure before I take action. This woman is my life and I am going to make the whole world burn for her if need be. I am not the hero who would sacrifice one person to save the world, I am the villain who would sacrifice the world to save one person. Why is he calling you? Michelle asks me, her eyes searching mine for an answer. It is nothing, babe, I tell her with a fake smile plastering across my lips. I hate the fact that despite everything, I am still unable to completely take away her pain and make her happy. I have asked Maria to book us a trip to the Netherlands. You need to take some rest away from all the stress. The lady in front of me does not seem convinced at my words. What are you not telling me, Enzo? Michelle inquires again. What are you hiding from me? My heart breaks into 1,000 pieces when I hear her voice, but it is better for me to keep it to myself for now. I need to be sure, and I need to come up with a way of making Natalia undo what she has done if it is true. You think I will be able to hide anything from you? I ask, and she nods in the negative. Good. Now take some more rest. I will make a call and come, okay? She finally nods and I press a kiss on her forehead before making my way out of the room. The moment I am out, my gaze darkens as I press the phone against my ear. Hello, his voice filters through. I will send you an address. You meet there and make sure to come with enough information on you know what. Not waiting for his response, I end the call before making my way down the hallway. Xavier and Izzy are both there, and the moment they see me, they both stand up and Xavier bows gently. I am going out for a moment, make sure to take care of her. Yes boss, Xavier answers. Where are you going? Izzy inquires. Is unlike you to leave Michelle's side, just do as I say and don't ask me questions. Izzy, I growl in anger, and with this, I walk away immediately. Nicholas is already in the room when I push the door open and enter. This is one of the hotels under Avanti, and looking back at him, I have the inkling to kill him. Everything is happening because of this bastard seated in front of me. Michelle has not had a moment of peace since she left his house because he chose to be a clown. The moon goddess is supposed to use alphas like him for her rituals because they have nothing more than negativity to offer. The moment I lower myself on the couch, I lean back and settle my gaze on him. Tell me, in all of this, I have one condition, Enzo, he begins, and my anger skyrockets. Like the speed of light, I am standing before him with my hands snaking around his neck in a tight grip, my claws slowly digging into his neck. I swear by the moon goddess that I will offer you to her as a sacrifice if you take my wife's name with your filthy mouth again. Nicholas, he tries to push me off, but I am clearly stronger than him, so I do not budge. I did not hoard 10 years of anger and strength just to be moved by this weak alpha in front of me. Yes, he is one strong contender, but I will win him hands down in a duel. That's how weak he is compared to me. One more word about her and you are dead. Condition? I scoff. How dare you? I angrily let go of his neck and walk back to the couch, anger surging through my body. How can he protect her if he cannot even fight me? Thinking about it, I am more glad that he divorced her, because he would have surely put her in the face of danger with all these saga. Do not think for 1 second that I am weak, Enzo, Nicholas grits. Do not make that mistake. I am not here to listen to you rant. I immediately interrupt him. My wife is in the hospital and I need to be by her side, so I suggest you tell me why you called. For a moment we are both silent, glaring daggers at each other. The Zia clan has been helping Natalia, he tells me. Tell me something I do not know, Nicholas, I interrupt him again, that's old news you both knew. It seems you have nothing new to tell me. I pull my body off the couch. Do not contact me again and stay away from my wife. Whatever it is, I will handle it myself. I believe the pain Michelle encountered is due to Natalia. I have asked my men to bring her to me. Good for you, I snap at him. That doesn't stop the fact that I want you to stay away from her. I will find out all the information I need and take care of the Xia clan myself, and if need be, I will add Natalia to that mix. But if what you are saying is correct, then I need to get rid of you and everything else for my baby's sake. For her I allow my wolf to take over for a moment and my eyes turn amber. I will burn your world and Natalia's for her, so I suggest you keep that witch away from my wife as far as you can, and for the record, I will not need your help to tackle the Xia clan after I am done. I make to leave, but his words halt me again. For the world you claim you want to burn, Michelle is the center of it, and I am going to protect it and take her back as mine. May the best man win. I chuckle lightly at his outburst. The temerity. When you are able to decipher whose pregnancy was your and not yours, you can talk to me then. Immediately I walk out of the room and pull out my phone before placing it on my ear. Boss Mustafa's voice filters through. Bring Rome to the pack house in an hour. I will be there to meet you. Yes, boss. As I replace the phone into my pocket and clench my teeth together, I know it is time to hunt my prey down. Natalia's POV. Standing in front of the mirror, my lips curl into a smirk as I drop the phone from my ear. It is true, the witch was not lying. Now I know why mother and father tried so hard to keep us away from them. They were the evilest of people. She told me how it worked, and hearing that Michelle is in the hospital confirms it. This is it. I will no longer hold back, no matter how ugly things get. If I cannot get Nicholas to myself, I will not allow her to have him either. You are crazy, Natalia, I mutter to myself, walking back to the bed. I slump on it and close my eyes, the image of Nicholas winding its way into my head. I want to see him and hug him and tell him how much I love him, but he is being sensitive right now and I am just going to wait for him to calm down. I have waited 3 years to make a comeback, and now I am not going back out no matter what. For a moment my mind drifts off to the dumbbell I had used to hit my tummy a while back, and I can't help but laugh. I can't lie, it was very painful, but I just wanted to confirm what the witch had said, and now that it is true, nothing is going to stop me now. My thoughts are interrupted when the incense on my table lights up by itself and I sit up, my attention drawn to the window, and I know she has come. After about 2 seconds, a gust of wind blows past my face and I feel a figure lower herself on the bed beside me. Turning to her, I am stunned for a moment. She looks so different from the last time I saw her. You look so beautiful, I can't help but tell her. Her lips curl into a smile. I got tired of my old body and got a new one for myself. Perks of being a powerful witch. I gently hold onto her hand and lean into her embrace. I haven't seen her for a while and I actually missed her. 3 years ago, SHS took me under her wing and made me a member of her army after I swore my allegiance to her. It wasn't easy convincing a witch of the Xia clan to take me in, but after seeing my loyalty and my persistence, she finally agreed, but it didn't come without its own sacrifices. How have you been, my child? She pats my hair lightly. I had to come after what happened. You should have listened to me. I am sorry, Lady Adeline, I tell her. I was scared at that moment and I had to let go of the child, but I am glad I did. Now I know I can hurt Michelle anytime. I am most thankful to you for helping me all these years, of course, dear child." The smile on her face grows. "You gave me something so precious, it is my duty to help and take care of you now. As long as I remain a witch of the Xia clan, no mortal can harm you, my child." "I know that." I also smile back at her. "I know you will continue to protect me as long as our contract stands." Of course, for a moment, the incident of 3 years ago winds its way into my head. It all happened on a rainy night 2 days after Nicholas and Michelle's wedding. I had nowhere to go because I couldn't go back to Nicholas and I couldn't go back to the house I shared with Michelle, and that was when Rome found me on the road that night and took me in. At first I was skeptical, but I followed him, and that was how I came across the legendary Xia witches, the best of their kind. But now I do not regret meeting them, because with this woman beside me, I know I will be able to conquer anyone and everything with her powers. At the thought of it, my face breaks into a smile. "Tell me, what do you want me to do for you now, child? Say the word and it will come to pass." "Not now, Lady Adeline," I tell her. "For now, I want to make a mess of Michelle before I finally decide what to do with her." She stands up from the bed and begins to walk towards the window slowly, her black hair cascading down her back. "But you know, no matter what, you are not allowed to take her life or harm her in any way that will make her useless to the Xia clan, Natalia." As she turns to me again, her gaze darkening for a moment, "Giving us permission over your sister's life with your own blood has made it impossible for you to take her life. Only we can do that. Your sister's powers are so precious to go to waste." "I am well aware of that, Lady Adeline," I tell her as I also stand up and walk towards her, "and I am not trying to go behind the Xia clan. I am on your side and I will do as you have ordered, my lady." "Good." The smile on her face returns. "I have come for another purpose, Natalia, and I want you to be the one to execute this for me. Enzo has taken Rome with him and I want you to devise a plan to get him out of that alpha's clutches. Can you do that for me, my child?" "Of course, Lady Adeline, I will help to bring Rome out," I tell her, "and it is a promise." "Good, you know how to summon me if you need me." With one last look at me, she vanishes just like she had come, and I can't help but let out a sigh as I lower myself on the window railings and close my eyes for a moment. How did Rome even get in Enzo's way? That is the reason why I have been unable to reach him all these days. Walking back to the bed, I pick up my phone and dial a certain number, and the person from the other end answers after the second ring. "I will send you an address, let us meet up." I end the call and grab my jacket before heading out the door, but I shouldn't have, because the moment I come out of the elevator on the ground floor, I see Nicholas's men coming towards me. I mutter under my breath. I am unable to run because my tummy still hurts, but even at that, bracing myself, I turn the other way and hasten towards the garage. An unfamiliar scent whiffs into my nose and I gently open my eyes to see Nicholas seated in front of me with an expressionless look on his face. For a moment I look around the room and I remember it. This is the place this ruthless man tortures those who hurt him. My heart skips a beat at the thought of this, but when I remember that Michelle will also get hurt if he hurts me, I relax. "You have brought me to your slaughterhouse, Nicholas," I say to him. Is that where we stand now? "I should have killed you the moment I found out the truth about you, Natalia," he hisses in anger. "And now I am to blame for everything Michelle is going through now." Wow, I can't help but scoff. "Michelle again? Are you trying to go back to her?" I see him ball his hands into a fist and I know he is trying to stop himself from whacking me hard across the face now. "Listen to me, Natalia, we had a thing and I am willing to let you go if you undo what you have done. Do you understand what I am saying to you? No, I blurt out. This is my biggest weapon now and I am not going to allow Michelle even a moment of rest. This is my way of paying her back for what she did to me. You can only talk and not do anything now, Nicholas. You will be hurting her in the process. He turns to his side and this is when I notice the burning charcoal near us and a rod is pushed into it. I gulp at the sight of this. Is he going to burn me with it? For every urge I feel to tear you into shreds, I am going to place this rod on my body since I cannot hurt you, yet. What? I scoff again. You are going to hurt yourself for a woman who doesn't want you anymore. Are you being serious right now? How did you meet the Zia clan, Natalia? Nicholas inquires, but I keep silent. After about 3 seconds, he picks up the hot rod and before I can say anything, he presses it against his body, making me clench my teeth together as I see him close his eyes because of the pain. How stupid is he to do this for that brat? You claim you love me, yet. Nicholas scoffs lightly as he continues to press the rod on his body. This should also hurt you too, don't you think? This won't change anything, Nicholas, I tell him. The deed has already been done and it will eventually end with Michelle's death and our love story being complete. I love you with my life and I am going to make sure to end our story on a happy note. He angrily grabs my neck as a little chuckle leaves my mouth. Why don't you choke me harder, Nick? Maybe our dear Michelle will feel it. I am also eager to see what she goes through. He doesn't let go of me for another second until he finally does and turns to the man beside him. Chain her up. An animal deserves to be treated as one no matter what you do. She will not take you back. Nick, I call after him, but he has already slammed the door closed and the smirk on my face disappears. If I act, I must act fast. Forget about Nicholas. Enzo will tear me into shreds if he dares to see me. Enzo's POV. Boss Mustafa bows lightly as he pushes open the door for me and I venture into the room. Rome is tied to a chair and he has blood dripping from his nose. Mustafa must have beat him up so badly yet again. The moment he looks up and his eyes come in contact with me, his lips curl into a small smile revealing his blood-stained teeth. Have you finally come to kill me, Alpha Enzo? He asks me, his voice coming out only in a whisper. I am getting tired of being hit by your men every now and then. I lower myself on the chair opposite him while rolling up my sleeves, my eyes darkening at the sight of him. There are sins and there are sins, Rome, I tell him. There are sins you can commit and I will let you live, but there are sins that you will commit and I will hunt you down to hell. I still have a score to settle with you about what your clan did to my mother, but that's by the way. Hurting my wife is where you have drawn the line and that I will never forgive you. Do you understand what I am saying to you? I am only a messenger of the Zia clan, Alpha, he rasped out. I have no hand in the decision-making of the clan. Your wife became an object of their fantasy and I can only do as I am told. I whack him hard across the face and more blood spills out of his mouth. How dare you take her name with your filthy mouth? I grab his neck in anger and allow my claws to sink into it, making more blood spill on my hands. This is little compared to what I have done to people in the past. This is little compared to the pain and torture I have melted out to people, and I am going to make Rome regret ever coming into our lives. This is a promise. I will only ask you once and I need you to answer me as clearly as you can. I continue to tell him again, and believe me when I say I will make you beg for your life if you do not answer me. I pull out a small bottle from my pocket and hold it up for him to see. This is a poison detrimental to the health of witches and you are a half-witch born to a human father. This will kill you faster than you can say my name. Rome. My wolf growls inside of me the more I speak to him. Now let us not waste each other's time, tell me. How can I meet the Xia clan? Meeting the Xia clan is not something you can do at will, Enzo, he tells me as the smirk on his face widens. They come to you when they need you and not the other way round. I gently open the bottle of the poison and hold it closer to him. Your mother will surely come to me if she finds out that you are in my captivity. I am certain about that. I suggest you tread carefully, Enzo, Rome says again, fear evident on his face. You are one of the strongest and the cruelest alphas I have ever known. Do not throw away everything because of a mere woman. I whack him hard across the face again, and this time one of his teeth flies out of his mouth with a trail of blood. People like you do not even dare to speak in front of me, Rome, I grit in anger. Not bothering to say anything again, I pull him forward and pour the content of the bottle into his mouth, and I make sure he swallows everything before I let go of his mouth. This will slowly cause you pain and discomfort, and if your mother does not come soon, you will be a dead half-witch. A small smirk appears on my lips as I turn around to go, but his next words halt me. You have a score to settle with the Xia clan and Natalia, not me, Enzo. And if you think you can defeat the Xia clan that easily, I suggest you have a rethink. I only helped Natalia to achieve her goals, and as for what happened to your mother, I know very little about it. If you think you can defeat the Xia clan, you will need more than the powers you possess now, my friend. Rome coughs and spits out blood, and I am sure you know what I mean. They are not to be messed with. Save those words for your final moments, I spit in anger before sauntering out of the room. As soon as I walk out, Mustafa, who is standing near the door, hands me my phone. Luna has been calling, boss, he tells me, and I nod before collecting the phone from him. I have given him the poison, you and the others should be on alert. I will see Michelle briefly and come back. I have a feeling an unwanted visitor will come soon. Okay boss. As I make to move, I halt and turn to him, and bring Diego to me when I return. I think his time alive is over with this. I turn around and walk away. If I am going to face the Xia clan, I am going to need all the powers I can get, including Diego's abilities too. Whoever is not Michelle can go to hell for all eternity. The moment I push her door open and enter into the room, this is when I realize that I have forgotten to change my blood-stained clothes, but it is too late for me to turn around and walk away. Her eyes are on me and she has a confused look hovering over her face. Are you okay? Michelle asks as she rushes to me, her eyes searching my body for any injury. Did something happen to you? Why are your clothes stained with blood? I am fine, I tell her as a smile appears on my face. Why are you out of bed though? Aren't you supposed to be resting? How could I? She inquires with a pout. You didn't take your calls and now you have appeared before me with blood stains on your clothes. What exactly is going on, Enzo? What are you not telling me? I look at her for a moment and gulp. Will she be able to handle it if I tell her? But on the other hand, she looks so stressed about what's going on with me and I don't like it. Talk to me, Enzo. She cups my face in her hands. Please tell me. Come. I gently grab a hold of her hand and lead her towards the bed before helping her to sit on it. I perch on the space beside her with my gaze still on her. Listen to me, baby. I let out another sigh, and you don't have to freak out about it, okay? What? Natalia did something and now you and her are both intertwined together. Whatever hurts her, hurts you, and that's why you felt that pain earlier, but you shouldn't be worried about that. I swear I am going to make everything fine. I promise. Is that what you have been hiding from me? I didn't know how to tell you, baby. I tuck a few strands of her hair to the back of her ear. I didn't know how you would take it and I didn't want you to freak out because of the babies. Michelle swallows hard and for a moment, she is silent with a lot of things going on in her mind. I know exactly what she is thinking and how I want to make all her pains go away forever. I want to go home, Enzo, she tells me. I don't want to stay in the hospital anymore, but you need to. You. She immediately cuts me off. There is no need for me to be here. We already know the cause of the pain. I really want to go home. Fine, I reply. I will take you home and ask Izzy to stay with you for the night. Why? Are you leaving? I just have something to do at the pack house. Is it related to me? Michelle, you. Answer me, Enzo, she blurts in anger. Yes, it is. I finally respond and I see her clench her fist in anger. Whatever it is, I am coming with you, Enzo. This is about me and I cannot let you handle it alone. Not a chance, I immediately refute. It is dangerous and I will only be rest assured if you are safe, and that's final. We are not discussing this topic again. Michelle scoffs and turns her attention to me. If you are going to fight for me, let us do it together, baby, she tells me. I don't want you to bear everything alone, please. This is about me, so I should be involved in it. This is the only way I won't freak out. Before I can respond, my mobile begins to beep, and seeing it is Izzy from the other end, I immediately press the phone against my ear. You need to come back to the pack house now, Enzo, she says from the other end. The door to Rome's room will not open and I can hear that same voice from years ago. Enzo, I immediately end the call and pull my body out of the bed. The voice. Michelle looks a bit confused. The voice of the witch who killed my mother? Mish, I answer as my gaze darkens and my wolf growls inside of me. Give me this day, moon goddess, I mutter to myself. Michelle's POV. As soon as Enzo brings the car to a halt in front of the pack house, he immediately turns to me and I can see a look of impatience on his face. Lately everything has been a mess and how I wish my life can go back to normal, but that cannot happen as long as Natalia breathes, and that's my main concern now, to end this thing we have between us. You have to stay in the car, Michelle, Enzo tells me. No matter what, don't come out of the car and let me handle this on my own. I nod and he pulls me to a kiss before rushing out of the car. Some men immediately stand around the car and from the look of things, I know they are part of the pack's strongest soldiers picked by Enzo himself. Closing my eyes, I place my head against the headrest for a moment, trying to decipher everything that's happening. How did it all go wrong? How did our lives become linked to the Xia clan in such a way? The more I think about it, the more I am sure the moon goddess has something to do with this. I can remember the last time she talked to me, it was more like preparing me for an inevitable future and fight. Suddenly, a gust of light makes me open my eyes, and this is when I find myself in that same garden again and she is standing directly in front of me. This time she neither has a smile on her lips or a frown. Her face is expressionless and void. Goddess Selene, her name rolls out of my mouth as I slowly begin to walk towards her. You must wonder why I chose you as my strongest soldier, don't you? Her voice filters through, but I tell you this, dear child, the decisions you make are not affected by me. This is a test that you must pass, and in the process you also have to save the man that is for you. You and the Xia clan are more intertwined than you think, and Natalia is just a yardstick for them to get to you. While saving yourself, also try to save the man who holds you dear to heart. What do you mean? A look of confusion appears on my face. How? But she is already gone by the time I can even ask my question, and immediately I find myself seated in the car again as more confusion emanates from me. What does she mean by that? How will I save the man I love? Reality suddenly dawns on me, and not waiting for anything else, I push open the car door and alight, but before I can make a move, the men gather around me. "You cannot go, Luna," one of them tells me, and from the amulet on his neck, I know he is a beta male. "Why?" "The Alpha has ordered that we keep you safe and you cannot go into the house." "I have to go in and you won't be able to stop me," I tell him. "This is an order as your Luna. I am sorry, you can no." He is still talking when my fist collides with his jaw and he staggers back and falls to the ground. The kick is not enough to kill him, but he will stay like that for a while. That is a killer move that father taught me. The others come at me almost immediately, but is it too late as my fists and kicks all send them flying off? I think I need to inform them about the fact that I am not the typical Luna they think I am. I kill and hunt when I need to. With all of them down, I rush towards the gate of the house, and this is when I meet Xavier and Izzy with some others, and I know Enzo personally put them there to stop me. What the heck? "You can't go in, sister-in-law," Izzy tells me. "Enzo will have my head on a platter. Isn't the witch you killed your mother here?" I ask her and I see how a scowl appears on her face. I know this is not the best approach right now, but thinking about what the moon goddess said, I just have to. "Shouldn't you be in there?" She immediately interrupts me. "Enzo has ordered that no one stays near the pack house." This piques my curiosity the more. "I have to go in, Izzy, please." Luna Xavier chips in. "You just got out of the hospital and we don't want to." Shhhh, I place my finger on my lips. "We don't have to do this, Zav, sister-in-law." The words hang in her throat when I grab a hold of her neck and my fist lands on the middle of her head, making her wolf howl almost immediately before she falls to the ground. "Izzy!" Xavier rushes to her and I use this opportunity to deal with the others in less than 3 minutes before I rush towards the house. "We appreciate your loyalty." The moment I come into the hallway, his scent filters into my nose and I hasten towards the room, but before I can push open the door, his voice filters into my ear. "I didn't come looking for you, Adeline," Enzo says. "You dared to do something that hurt my wife and now I am not going to let you or your son go." "Oh Enzo," her voice is full of sarcasm. "You and I go way back and now she comes. How do you think I feel?" I hear him scoff. "You are lucky I haven't come to collect the debt you owe me, Adeline. Your mother died to save you, Enzo. You took her life," he yells at the top of his voice. "You took her life when it didn't warrant it. She found out too much and her death bought your freedom, and now, because of her, you are willing to throw yourself in the face of danger again. Years ago, you were no match for me and now you still are no match for me. Enzo, you lie, Adeline." Enzo hisses again and I hear him begin to take slow strides. "I have left you all these years waiting for the perfect time to take my revenge on you, but now that you have come to look for my wife, I swear I will bring you and your clan to your knees in front of my wife. You have almost killed the only link you have to finding us, Enzo. Rome is as good as dead now, so what will you do now? You have never fully valued your son and that is why you threw him into the forefront of the battle, but not to forget your biggest prey has manifested itself and I am not going to rest until I take every pound of flesh that I ought to. Why don't you give in to my desires and I will make sure the clan lets your wife go." The offer came at a good time. We couldn't resist you. I don't wait for him to finish before I fling open the door and I venture into the room. Their eyes turn to me while my eyes travel around the room. Rome is lying lifeless on the ground while the two of them are standing away from each other, and at the sight of her, my eyes darken and my blood begins to boil. I thought witches are supposed to look evil and wicked, this one actually looks pretty though. I told you to stay in the car, Michelle, Enzo says the moment he sees me. Why did you come here? I completely ignore him and turn my attention to the witch who has her gaze on me. Michelle Zavi. I have been waiting to meet you for the longest of time. How rude. I roll my eyes as I start to take slow steps towards her. I don't have a problem with you trying to kill me or anything, but ogling at my husband right in front of me is an offense I will not forgive. You witch, what? Enzo is also taken aback by my outburst. You want to kill me? I ask her again, why must you go through the corners? I am right in front of you, you can do as you please, but you are not allowed to even look at me husband with such lustful gaze. The witch laughs softly as she begins to walk towards me, her eyes sizing me from head to toe. You must have felt better to leave the hospital, haven't you? News flash for you and that so-called sister of mine. The smirk on my face disappears. No matter how much you try, I swear you won't succeed. So for the good of everyone, whatever curse you have done, you had better undo it. The nerve of you, this is your final warning. Not bothering to wait for her response, I grab a hold of Enzo's hand and pull him out of the room. I don't let go of his hand until we come to the end of the hallway, and this is when I angrily let go of his hand and turn to him. Really? I ask him. I told you to stay in the car, didn't I? Enzo's gaze intensifies. Why a witch ogles at you? I roll my eyes. Dream on what? I am not even in the mood to talk to you now. With that, I turn around and make to walk away, but Enzo grabs onto my hand and yanks me closer, making my back lean against his hard chest. And what's the attitude for, princess? He asks as he cups my neck, a wicked aura emanating from him. I am doing this for you, then we do it together. I clench my fist together. Not you going off to talk to a witch alone who you know is clearly obsessed with you. How much of our conversation did you hear? Just enough to know how deeply rooted you also are into this. My phone beeps, and the moment I read the message, I turn to Enzo. Nicholas has Natalia, and I think it is better for me to speak to her than you right now. Wriggling out of his arms, I angrily walk away, but I can feel a smirk lingering on his face even if my back is turned to him. Enzo's POV. I push open the door and saunter into the room. Michelle is standing by the window and she doesn't even bother to turn to me even as I walk up to her. Our first couple fight is kind of cute, but this is not the time to think about it or even dwell on that. She is still annoyed with me and I have to do everything to pacify her. Hey kitten, I snake my hand around her waist. How do you feel now? I am good, she answers blandly, her eyes still on the open window. Are you still mad at me? No, common baby, talk to me. I turn her around and she faces me. I am sorry, okay? Tell me everything, Enzo, Michelle demands. Tell me what is really going on? How exactly are you linked to the Zia clan? I can understand my own. Natalia is a biche, but you? How? What's really going on? How did you get to know them and that witch? What was she saying? I let out a heavy sigh as I snake my hand around her waist. I have a lot do dark side that I don't want you to know about. Mish, just how dark is your past, Enzo? She asks again. Please tell me, if you are going to protect me with your life, I should also do the same. Tell me, what is going on? I lower myself on the window frame and pull her to sit on my lap. Fine, I will tell you everything since you are deeply involved too. For a moment I am silent as the memories begin to wind its way into my head again. I knew from the onset that a lot of things were going to happen, but I didn't know that my mate would also have to pass through what I went through. Thinking about it now, the moon goddess must have planned everything from the onset since she knew what was going to happen. I am all ears. Enzo Michel's voice filters into my ear again. When I was 15 and Izzy was just 10, I came down with a disease that even the pack healer could not heal. We tried everything possible but to no avail until Adeline showed up and she said she could cure me with an elixir only found in the coven of the Xia clan, and Mother hastily agreed without thinking twice about the consequences of what would happen. Like a good person, Adeline gave Mother the elixir and I was healed, but 2 years later, she came back and demanded her reward, which is me. Apparently she wanted me to fulfill her desires, but Mother didn't agree with that, and that cost her her life because the balance of the world has to always be in order, and she lost her life because of that. Since then, I have been trying to find a way to destroy all of them, but it was not that easy because I wasn't as strong as I am now, and even now, it is hard to find them, so that's why you told me to investigate only Natalia and Rome. You didn't want me to find out about this part of your past. You only deserve to be happy, and I am putting you through all of this, baby. It's not your fault. She turns to me and cups my face. No one knew this would happen, and no one knew Adeline would come back into our lives. It is all Natalia's fault and she has to pay for it, I know, and that's why I didn't want you to be anywhere near Adeline. I just want you to be safe, and I will take care of the hard work. I think we were really destined to meet each other, baby. She snaked her hand around my neck. We must have been really destined to meet because everything that has happened in our past is linked to our present and even our future. You were not supposed to be in this mix-up if not for that stupid Nicholas and your sister, but like I said, I won't let anything happen to you. I swear on my life. For a moment we both continue to stare into each other's eyes, and love continues to pour out of her eyes for me. So what is the plan now, babe? She asks after a while, and you have to tell me everything. Don't leave me in the dark anymore. Of course I will. I pull her into my embrace and press a kiss on her lips. She came to me because I finally hurt Rome, but that didn't do much damage. She doesn't really care about him, but now your sister is their biggest weapon. I don't know what they actually want, but I do know that they ask for the most important thing, and I am sure Natalia will definitely be used as the scapegoat later. So how are we going to get them to undo what they have done? I am going to take Natalie away from Nicholas. If she cannot harm herself, you won't be harmed. Sooner or later, I will find their coven, I promise. Aren't you the sweetest, Enzo? She leans into my embrace again. I am so lucky to have found you, and I will forever thank the moon goddess for that. I just want you to feel better, and that's the most important thing now. I know, right? I know you have my interest at heart. She places another kiss on my lips again. Don't keep me in the dark about anything anymore, okay? Of course, baby. After a few seconds, my forehead creases into a slight frown as I raise my head to meet her gaze. How did you know Nicholas has Natalia? My aunt told me. Good. I can't help but roll my eyes, and she laughs gently. Hearing her laugh like this, I just want to keep that smile on her face forever. I promise it will be over soon, babe. I tell her. Just give me a little more time. I know, but right now I just want to jump into bed and take a nap. I am so tired. Come, I will put you to sleep. I lead her to the bed and help her lay in it before jumping in beside her and snaking my hand around her waist and pulling closer to her. I really want to give birth to my babies, Enzo, she tells me, and for a moment I can feel a hint of fear in her voice. I don't anything bad to happen to any of them. You will give birth to our babies, I promise. I caress her back gently, and this is when my eyes catch the tattoo on her lower back and I clench my jaw together. Natalia will have to pay the ultimate price eventually. Can we go on the vacation after we deal with everything? She asks after a while. Why? You already know why, Enzo, she tells me. You don't have to be scared, I will take care of everything. She closes her eyes and buries her face in the crook of my neck while I pull her towards me in a bid to protect her. After a few minutes, her steady breathing reach my ear and I gently let go of her before standing up from the bed. With one last look at her, I make my way out of the room to meet Izzy by the door. She is asleep now, I tell her. For the next few days you need to keep an eye on her. She is scared and I understand why. Not to worry, Enzo. I will watch over her like a hawk. And one more thing, I turn to her and pat her hair lightly. I haven't forgotten to get revenge yet. I will lay them bare at yours and Michelle's feet. I know, brother. She flashes me a genuine smile. I will always be by your side. I nod. Give Nicholas a call and tell him to hand Natalia over. It is time she understands the real meaning of what we call pain in calm. Of course, as Izzy walks away, I press my back against the wall and close my eyes for a moment as the thoughts of my wife winds its way into my head and I smile a little. No matter what, I am going to make sure she gives birth to healthy babies. Michelle's POV. The next day Enzo and I cuddle all morning, we have breakfast in bed and watch a movie. He tells me he is not going to the office and he will take care of me for the whole day. A gesture that makes me so happy that I just want to stay in his arms forever. After lunch, I opted to take a nap and by the time I wake up, it was already a few minutes past 4. I must have slept in because as soon as my eyes open, I catch a glimpse of Enzo pressing a kiss on my forehead and my lips curl into a small smile. This man always knows how to make me feel better and I am always grateful to him. Good evening, babe. His husky voice filters into my ear. Good evening, I reply as I pull my body to a sitting position. My forehead creases into a slight frown when I see him all dressed up. Are you going somewhere? Enzo nods. I have to go to the office for an impromptu meeting but I will be back soon. You don't have to worry, I won't take long, I will be home before you know it. I am not worried, I tell him, and you shouldn't worry about me, I can take care of myself. Can you? He raises an eyebrow at me. Of course, I chuckle lightly. Now you should go. I made you a snack. Take a shower and eat. He kisses me again before straightening his body, and yes, I will branch by the hospital to check on a few of my patients. Take your time, baby, I tell him. I will be here waiting for you. With a nod, he makes his way out of the room. I lay back on the bed and close my eyes for a while, trying to take some more rest. For a minute, my mind drifts off to what Enzo told me about the Zia clan. They sure are the most ruthless set of people to walk the face of the earth. Making up my mind, I decide not to let Enzo do all the work alone. I am equally as involved and I will try everything to help him. With this, I pull my body out of bed and saunter into the shower. I have a lot to do before Enzo gets back. I quickly take a shower and get dressed in a pair of comfortable home clothes before making my way out of the room. Mustafa and one other person are standing just down the hallway and the two of them bow to me as soon as they see me. I have some work for you, Mustafa, I tell him. I am all ears, Luna. You just have to say the word. Come with me. I lead him into Enzo's study before I start to talk. I don't want anyone to hear of my plans and hopefully I will be able to execute it before Enzo starts to hear my thoughts. I want all the information you have on the Xia clan, must Paha I tell him, and a small frown appears on his face, and I mean every single one of them. That is not possible, Luna, he answers. The boss will have my head on a platter if he finds out that I gave you everything when he asked me not to. He has already told me everything and asked me not to get involved, but I can't fold my hands and allow him to do all the tedious work. I need your help and you are under my oath and you have to give me what I want. The boss is taking care of it now, Luna, he tells me again. A knock on the door jolts me out of what I am about to say. Sister-in-law, it is Izzy, can you please come out for a minute? Her voice sounds a bit different and I hasten out to meet her. For the time since I have known Izzy, this is the first time I am ever seeing a sad look in her eyes. What happened, Izzy? I ask her, is everything fine? Enzo. Her voice trails off and my heart skips a beat hearing his name. Enzo? What happened to him? Is he okay? My mind has already been thrown into chaos and confusion as Izzy just continues staring at me without saying a word. Talk to me, Izzy, I half yell as I grab her shoulders. Enzo was involved in an accident, Michelle. Immediately I feel my entire world come to a standstill as her words penetrate my ears. What? My insides churn. What did you say? How is? Come with me. She grabs a hold of my hand and leads me down the hallway, and in no time, we are both at the back seat of the Maybach which has zoomed out of the compound. My heart is racing fast against my rib cage and I don't know how to stop it. Enzo has always been a careful man. How did he get into an accident? Step on it, Xavier, I yell at the man behind the wheels as tears well up in my eyes. As soon as the car comes to a halt in front of the building, I don't even bother to check before jumping out of the car and rushing into the building. The moment I enter, I freeze right in my spot when my eyes catch the man standing before me with a huge grin on his face, and that's not what catches my attention. It is the way the whole place is decorated and the number of people there. This is the most beautiful kind of decoration I have ever seen, and the whole hall is full of so many important people. Some which Enzo has introduced to me and some which I know not. It is more like a banquet hall with everyone laughing and chatting around, leaving me more confused than ever. Isn't he supposed to be in the hospital? And where is this place? The more I think about it, the more confused I am. A small frown appears on my head as he begins to take slow yet steady steps towards me. What is going on, Enzo? I ask the moment he comes up to me, a look of confusion lingering on my face. Hey kitten, he snakes his hand around my waist. Are you okay? I sniff back a tear. Izzy told me you. Happy birthday, princess. He cuts me off and for a moment I am lost for words. Today is my birthday? How is that even possible? I didn't even remember. How? This is the only thing I can ask him at the moment because I am still too stunned to speak. Why wouldn't I know about your birthday, baby? Enzo blurts, and believe me when I said I came up with the most amazing gifts for you. Happy birthday, my queen. I just pounce into his embrace and close my eyes as the tears continue to fall. I never told this man about my birthday, but here he is giving me a surprise which I cannot believe at the moment. Happy birthday, Lady Boss, Maria says as she walks up of us. Boss has really put a lot of effort into making this day a memorable one for you. I lift my head from his shoulder and stare back at him, the smile on his face evident. Happy birthday ma'am, happy birthday ma'am. Most people in the hall come up to me with smiles on their faces and I nod at them while returning their smiles. I am unable to say anything now because I am still overwhelmed at his efforts. So this is the meeting you claim you had? He answers with a nod. Now come. He grabs hold of my hand and leads me towards the stage, and this is when Izzy and Xavier enter into the hall with smiles on their faces. They actually succeeded in making me scared and I am going to take my revenge on them. The moment we get on stage, Enzo helps me to sit on the chair that he has prepared for me while he squats before me and I gulp. What exactly is he doing? Everyone is looking at him. What? Shhh. He places his index finger on my lips. Let me. He kisses my hands gently before straightening himself. Now everyone is seated looking at us and I can't help but feel a bit apprehensive. Most of the people in the hall are all dignitaries aside from his workers. Now I am wondering how he got all of them to be here. Good evening everyone. His voice resonates in the room and all eyes turns to us. I am glad you all could make it to this birthday party I have organized in honor of my wife here. He turns to me for a moment and winks at me. As you all can see, she is a bit stunned because she was also oblivious to the fact that I was planning this party for her. Tonight is a very special night for me because on a night such as this, she was brought into this world and I cannot be more thankful than I already am. Today I want to specially celebrate this woman whom the Almighty has blessed with. Happy birthday baby. His voice continues to filter into my ear and tears can't help but well up in my eyes. How can he do something like this? A simple birthday party would have been enough. He didn't have to bring the world to my feet. Looking back at him, a proud smile appears on my face. I love this man to the ends of the world. Baby. Enzo turns to me again. I know things have not been good lately, but I want you to know that I am always here if you need me and I will always be here to protect you from any kind of harm. I love you, I whisper to him. I love you too, he says to the hearing of everyone, and the color rush on my face is massive. I have a lot of things planned for you tonight baby, Enzo continues, but first, let's get you dressed up as the queen that you are. Happy birthday baby. An applause rises from the crowd and I just wave at them, even anticipating what he has installed for me. He drops the microphone and walks towards me before offering me his hand and I gladly take it. What exactly have you planned, baby? I ask him in a whisper. Patience is a virtue, my precious, he tells me as Maria walks up to us. Your team is already waiting for you. Get ready and come home as I make to leave. His words halt me again. Just for today, do not think about anything else and enjoy the splendor I have planned for you princess, because today is all about you. Do you understand? I nod and smile at him. I also want to know what he has planned. This man has a way of making me feel over the moon and I want to see. Good, now go. As Maria leads me away, my eyes catch a sight of a familiar figure, but I decide against it. That person cannot be here. Nicholas's POV. 2 hours ago. I drop my phone on the table before massaging the space between my brows. Earlier today, Enzo had his people call me to release Natalia to him, but I refused. She was my business and I am going to make her pay for what she has done. As long as I have her under my control, she will not be able to hurt herself and Michelle will not get hurt in the process. Pressing back against the chair, my phone screen lights up and when I see the content of the message, my heart skips a beat. I have actually forgotten that today is her birthday. Michelle used to be so excited about her birthdays and now I am wondering how she is going to react to it this year. For the past 3 years, we have celebrated her birthday in the most lavish way possible, but now, picking up my phone, I stare back at her picture for a while as a small smile appears on my face. She should have been here with me now, but I was a fool and I let her go. I was blinded by my rage and love for Natalia, and now I lost her. Lost her? I shake my head in the negative. Of course not. I am still going to take her away from Enzo no matter what. She was mine to begin with. A gentle knock resonates on my door and I lift my head to see Lucy enter. She has become my favorite person these past days now. I enjoy talking to her and telling her about how I feel. Hey what's up, did you forget? She asks me while perching on the couch in front of me. Her birthday. I didn't know you would remember. Michelle was always the happiest about her birthdays, she tells me. How could I forget? I just didn't know that she would be spending it with someone else this time around. I swallow hard as reality dawns on me. She is celebrating it with another man and not me. Thinking about it, I become furious. She should have been with me and not him. We appreciate your loyalty. After a while, I push my body out of the chair and grab my phone. Where are you going? Los Angeles, I blurt almost immediately, and I see her forehead curve into a frown. What do you mean Los Angeles? We have a pact meeting today. You called for it yourself. You can handle the meeting without me. Lucy, I grit. This is more important and I have to see her. Enzo won't let you see. I interrupt her almost immediately. Let me see him try. Not waiting for her response, I make my way out of the study while dialing Pete's number. Call the airport to get my jet ready. We are flying to Los Angeles. I am already on my way to the airport. Yes boss. I end the call as a small smile creeps up on my face. Call me shameless, but I am going to get my wife back no matter what the media says this time around. Enzo better be ready to contend with me for her. As soon as the plane lands, I enter into the Maybach that is waiting for me and it zooms out of the airport with Pete behind the wheels. Enzo is throwing a party for her at a hotel, boss, he tells me. How legit is this information? I ask. 100% boss. Here, he drops a card on the pigeon board and I pick it up. It is strictly based on invitation and I got it from our person. I look at the gold-plated invitation card for a moment and I can't help but chuckle lightly. I never imagined that a day would come that I would be using an invitation to wish Michelle a happy birthday. The moment I enter the hall, this is when she also enters and I witness all her lovey-dovey moments with Enzo, and anger resonates within me seeing how close they are. You wish that was you, hey? My wolf asks deep inside of me, clearly mocking me, but I completely ignore it as my eyes continue to linger on the woman. And as soon as our eyes meet, my heart actually skips a beat. I am still reacting to her in this way. How stupid of me to have left her for that. Finally, the door to her dressing room opens and Michelle ventures out, and for a second, my mouth hangs open in awe. She is dressed in a black seamless gown that clings to her body, perfectly revealing her hourglass figure, and that tiny baby bump looks so good on her. How I wish the baby belongs to me. Happy birthday, someone says to her, and I see Michelle flash her a genuine smile, a smile which I am not sure I will ever get to see on her face for me again. Happy birthday, Mish. The words are out of my mouth before I can even stop myself, and I see her turn to me with an expressionless look on her face. She doesn't say anything, she just keeps looking at me like she never knew me. Happy birthday, Mish, I tell her again. It is a joyous occasion after all, Michelle finally answers, but I genuinely do not need your well wishes. And how did you get here? I am sure Enzo didn't see you or you would have been thrown out by now. How could I not come to you on your birthday? Babe. Enzo's voice filters into our ears as he walks past me and envelopes her in an embrace. You look so beautiful, my love, he tells her while pressing a kiss on her forehead. You made this? Enzo nods. I have been working on it for a few days now. Do you like it? Like? I hear Michelle chuckle lightly and my insides churn with anger. I love this. Aren't you the sweetest? You look so lovely in this too, baby. She dusts some invisible dirt from his suit. I genuinely cannot take my eyes off of you. I know that, baby, Enzo replies. Why don't you go with Maria and she will show you my first surprise? I will just speak to someone and come. Michelle nods and, not bothering to spare me another glance, she walks away. When Enzo notices she is out of earshot, he walks up to me with an angry expression looming over his face. Not today, Nicholas, he tells me. Today is the most special day of her life and I will not tolerate any tantrum from you. You can do this any other day but not now. And who are you to stop me from wishing her a happy birthday? I question with a scowl on my face and he scoffs. You must think you got the invitation because you kept one of your people to work for me here. Enzo's voice is laced with sarcasm and mockery. I made sure you got the invitation, or did you think you would have walked past security? I wanted you to see what you couldn't give her, Nicholas. I made it possible that you are here to watch and see as my wife climbs the pinnacle, but one thing, stay away from her. You are bad luck with that. He turns on his heels and walks away, leaving me fuming with anger. I just want to hold him in my hands and crush him into a million pieces. Turning around, I also make my way back into the arena, and the moment I enter, I see Michelle standing on stage looking stunning as usual, and all my anger just breaks down. How can I be upset when my woman is looking so beautiful and perfect from where she is standing? I grab a drink from the waiter walking past and take a sip as my eyes continue to linger on her. How beautiful! I messed up big time. You gaze upon her so closely, someone says beside me, and I turn to see Enzo's nosy assistant. Need I remind you that my boss will gouge out your eyes if he sees you looking lustfully at his wife? How dare you? I growl in anger. How dare you stand in front of me and speak? I am not scared of you, Mr. Woodsborne, she retorts. My boss has made sure of that, and I will suggest you keep your eyes away from her. The media is watching and I do not want my boss in another scandal. Before I can say anything, I watch her walk away and a huge smirk creeps up on my face. I can spot the voice of a jealous woman anywhere. So you do have a secret admirer? I mutter to myself as I sip on my glass, my attention on Enzo. How about a little fun game then? Enzo's POV. Seeing how happy she looks, I am glad I came up with the idea of making her birthday a memorable one. She didn't tell me about it and I understood why. She was not sure how it was going to be. I heard it all from her thoughts and found the date on her ID. Standing beside this phenomenal woman as the reporters click our pictures, I cannot help but feel more confident and fulfilled. Are you ready for your second gift? I whisper into her ear as I snake my hand around her waist and wave to the reporters. You have given me enough gifts already, baby, Michelle answers, the smile on her lips widening with each word. I really do not want more. Are you sure? After a few seconds, Maria walks up to me and whispers something into my ear and I nod before turning to the sea of eyes before us. I am afraid you have to excuse us. I have something to show my wife, but for the meantime, you can come with us into the hall. I have an announcement to make." Grabbing a hold of her hand, I gently lead her out of the arena and towards the other side of the building. "What more do you have to show me, babe?" A pout appears on her lips, 3 rows noir drop tail. "I am not sure when I am going to use it, and what more, the luxury clothes and bags, shoes, babe. You have done enough and I don't want anything else. You are lucky I cannot bring down the heavens for you, my princess, but…" Shhh, I press my index finger on her lips. "Let me." After a while, we both saunter into the hall and I lead her to the stage again as all eyes turn to us again. This has been one of the best nights of our lives and I am not even done yet. I still have to show the world that everything in it belongs to her, no matter what it is. I help Michelle to sit down before I grab the microphone again. "A very good evening to you all again," I continue. "I am glad that you are all enjoying this special birthday party that I have organized for my wife, but this is not the highlight yet. My wife and I have been married for a month, but we have not had a wedding ceremony yet. I want to use this medium to invite you all to join us on the evening of tomorrow on the History Supreme yacht for our wedding ceremony." Michelle immediately shoots out of her chair as I see her eyes open wide while the reporters continue to click pictures and the whole hall went up in an uproar, and I can totally understand why. "Enzo." Her voice reached me. A wedding ceremony? Not answering her, I drop the microphone on the podium again before getting on one knee right in front of everyone, and Michelle almost loses her footing, but I grab a hold of her and pull her towards myself. "What are you doing?" Tears well up in her eyes while a huge smile appears on my face. She looks so beautiful that I want to press a kiss on her lips and tell her how much I love her. "Oh my gosh, is he going to propose again?" Some voice filters through my ear, but I completely ignore Ram and focus my full attention on the woman in front of me. "Hey baby, we met a few weeks ago and signed the marriage certificate. It felt like everything was rushed and I am sorry for not doing this earlier. I was busy planning for the right moment." I slowly pull out the diamond ring from its casing and hold it in front of her, its reflection looking beautiful. "And I might be an asshole for announcing a wedding ceremony when I am not sure you are going to agree to that, but I did it because I trust you and I trust myself. Michelle Zavi, will you do me the honors of becoming my wife?" She gulps and remains silent for a while, an overwhelming feeling hovering over her face. "Please baby, my knees hurt," I say in a whisper, and a little laugh leaves her mouth. "Oh, Enzo," she finally finds her voice. "What to do with you? Just say yes and I will take care of everything for you, my love." I tell her, "The diamond on this ring has been cut off from the Cullinan diamond. I wanted the Kohinoor diamond for you, but I actually couldn't get it. Not like I couldn't, but it would require a lot of meetings with the British royal family and I am still talking when she places her index finger on my lips and lets out a small laugh. "You sound nervous, baby," she tells me. "You do not need to explain how you got the diamond for me. I love you and I do not care what it is. You have been the brightest star in my life during my moment of darkness and pain. You lit up my path with your overwhelming warmth and love. You made me believe in love again and you treat me like I am the most important person in the world." Enzo, she holds my hand gently and helps me to stand up. "Every day I thank the Almighty for bringing you to me, because I am not sure if I would be alive today if I didn't meet you, babe." Tears well up in her eyes and I gently wipe it off, careful not to smudge her makeup. "Lorenzo Phillips," she calls out my full name and my heart skips a beat. I didn't know she was aware of my full name. "You are the most precious person to me in this world, and even if I have to do this life again 20 times, I will rather walk with you than anyone else. Michelle reaches out for my face and caresses me a little. Of course I will marry you time and again as long as I have breath in my lungs. I love you and I will love you until the end of my life. She pulls me into her embrace as an applause resonates from the crowd. Right now I am not the almighty Enzo she knows. I am just a man happy to be accepted as a husband by this phenomenal woman in my arms, and I am glad I did. She looks so happy. I love you so much, Enzo, she whispers into my ears. I love you too, my precious, I tell her. After a while she pulls away from me and I slip the ring onto her finger and my joy knows no bounds. I am a fulfilled man at this point. The Cullinan diamond is one of the most expensive diamonds in the world. How did you get it, sir? The reporters don't even wait for us or relish our moment before they start to bombard us with questions. The History Supreme yacht cost about $4.7 billion. How were you able to get your hands on it, sir? Another asks. Is this a way of Avanti venturing another form of business? Tell us, sir, how were you able to get the diamond and the yacht? Is your wedding ceremony open to all? Why don't you give them an answer? The lady beside me whispers, I am also curious to know how you came about that yacht, because the last I heard of it, it was purchased by a Malaysian business mogul. Clearing my throat, I turn to the people before me as Maria hands me a microphone. Once again, good evening everyone. For my wife I am ready to do anything. The yacht and the diamond are little compared to what I actually want to give her. I am sorry I cannot disclose my transactions, but not to worry, it can accommodate as many that will be present for our wedding ceremony. As my eyes travel around the room, it falls on Nicholas, who has his eyes on my woman, and I send him a wink. Right now I am not mad at him, I just want him to understand the fact that she is no longer on his level, she is far above him now. Happy birthday, baby, I tell her again. I will give you a befitting response when we get home, Michelle whispers into my ear, and I swallow hard as my whole body vibrates. Why am I suddenly feeling hot at her outburst? Michelle lets out a heavy sigh as I open the car door for her. It has been one hell of a night and I cannot wait to get home to give her my final gift. Seeing a smile on her face is what I live for, and I am going to do that for the rest of my life. I am so tired, babe, she whines cutely as she pounces into my embrace. I will give you a massage when we get home, okay? How about something more than a massage? A coy smirk appears on her lips. I mean, didn't your gynecologist say we shouldn't do that anymore? I inquire with a raised brow. A pout comes on her face. An hour won't hurt, would it? Sly little fox, I pull her into my embrace, and this is when I see Nicholas walking towards us with a bouquet of flowers in hand. How cheap! Happy birthday once again, Michelle, go away, she snaps. Don't ruin this moment, I only came to give you your favorite flowers, that's all. She pulls away from me and turns to him. I don't do roses anymore, Nicholas, Michelle announces, but if you really want to give me a gift out of goodwill, why don't you hand Natalia to me? Nicholas lets out a light chuckle. Fine, I will let you have her for a day and you can return her to me. She has a score to settle with me, Michelle scoffs and returns her gaze to me. Let's go home, babe. I really do not want to think about any negativity right now. I am more keen on getting you into my bed tonight. A smirk appears on my lips and I raise my gaze to meet Nicholas. I think we gotta go now, Mr. Woodsborne. We can resume whatever we have going on between us after tomorrow. Today and tomorrow is strictly for us, so get lost. Holding onto Michelle's hand, I help her into the car and in no time we zoom off, leaving him standing foolishly. Michelle's POV. As soon as we enter the room, I push Enzo against the wall before hurriedly claiming his lips. This is the only way I can show this man how much I love and adore him. I cannot give him material things because he has that in abundance, but the love I have for him is such that he will never find anywhere else. After kissing him until my heart content, I pull away from him, but my hands still snaked his weight and our face only an inch apart. Thank you for tonight, baby, I tell him. Thank you for making my birthday the most memorable one, and I promise I will never forget it. You don't need to tell me thank you, baby, he tells me. You deserve all that and more, and what more? I am craving you right now. He pulls me closer and press a kiss on my bare shoulder. I want you, baby, he whispers over my hair, and I unable to control myself anymore. He doesn't wait for me to say anything before crashing his lips on mine, and his hands begin to find the zipper of my dress. After he finds it, he slowly unzips it and lets the dress fall of my body before lifting me from the floor. Have we ever done it in the shower? He asks me softly, and I nod in the negative. Not saying anything again, he gathers me in his arms before making his way into the bathroom. He also undresses, leaving only his briefs, and joins me in the shower. As soon as Enzo drops me and the water splashes all over, he pulls me close by the waist like he is about to kiss me, but instead he just continues to stare back at me with a huge smile on his face. What are you looking at? I can't help but ask him. Why are you smiling? I am just imagining how you would look in your wedding dress tomorrow, baby. I am bustling with anticipation and excitement, and I genuinely cannot wait. You must have imagined how I would look when you designed it. Tell me. I begin to trace his tattoo with my fingers, making him groan lightly. When did you start designing it? A few days after we signed our marriage certificate. I figured you would love a wedding more than just a mark and mate ceremony. So I have made adequate arrangements for that. After our wedding ceremony tomorrow, we will have a ceremony at the pack house, then we go for our honeymoon. You have everything figured out, don't you? The smile on my face widens as I continue to stare back at him. I have wasted a lot of time, baby, Enzo retorts. The fashion week took so much of our time that the things I should have done are still left undone, and now we still have lot on our plate, but even at that, I want to make sure I fulfill all of my responsibilities and duties towards you, my love. He tucks a few strands of my hair to the back of my ear as the water continues to flow down our bodies. I just want to make sure I do right by you, baby, and I don't want our kids coming into this world when I haven't even made their mother my wife fooled yet. I am your wife, I tell him with a little chuckle, and you know that. He cups my bum and pull me closer. Are you nervous? Of course not, I answer immediately. With you, I can never be nervous, baby. I am just excited and can't wait to walk down the aisle with you by my side. I can't wait for that to babe. For a moment a look of uncertainty flashes through my face, and he notices it almost immediately. You know you are a strong woman yet. A smile creeps up on his face. You are the strongest woman I know, and I am proud of you, Enzo. This time my voice sounds serious. Is there a way we can bring in Natalia tonight? I don't want her to ruin anything for us tomorrow. Of course, my love, I will go and bring her with me this night. I have already made arrangements for that, and you don't have to worry about that. I will do as you say. What exactly would I have done without you, babe? I snake my hand around his waist and place a kiss on his chest, and Enzo groans lightly. Now let's get back to business and finish celebrating your birthday, my love. With that, he grabs my hand and slowly leads it to cup his bulge, and I cannot help but gasp. This man gets huge every time. You are so huge, babe. I whisper into his ear as I give his bulge a light squeeze and Enzo moans softly, it's all because of you kitten. He cups my neck. I got hard the moment I saw you and I had to control myself. I see hungrily, I pull him in and capture his lips again. This man knows how to handle me in a way that leaves me gasping for more. I want you babe, I rasp out. I know that as I deepen the kiss, a sharp pain immediately surges through my body and I immediately flinch, but I grab a hold of myself from reacting to it. I know for a fact that Natalia is probably trying to do something to herself just to hurt me. Immediately Enzo too pulls away from me and holds my face in his palm. Since tomorrow is our big day baby, I don't want to tire you out, so I need you to take some rest now, okay? But he cuts me off lovingly. No ifs and buts princess. He caress my cheek lightly. You will do as I have said, okay? Fine, I answer with a pout. I am going to go to bed then. I don't want to argue about it because the pain is also getting a bit intense and I don't want to stress Enzo about it anymore, and from the look of things, he also noticed, but since he doesn't say anything, I also keep silent. He helps me to shower and get dressed before helping me into bed. Take some rest, okay? I will come soon, okay babe. After kissing me good night, he switches off the beside light before making his way out of the room. It is already past 3 a.m. when I hear his car zoom into the compound and I pull my body to a sitting position waiting for him. Luckily the pain has subsided and I am guessing either Nicholas or Enzo did something about it. I heard when his car left earlier and I knew he was going to get Natalia just as he promised. What would I have done without this man? Thank you so much, Moon Goddess, I mutter to myself as my door pushes open and he ventures into the room looking a bit tired. Why are you still awake? His dominating voice reaches me as he walks up to the bed and lowers himself on it. I clearly told you to sleep. Yet. How could I? I flash him a smile. When you were out there making sure I was better, you noticed. Enzo lets out a heavy sigh as he pulls me into his embrace. I noticed the way you flinched in my arms and I had to go and get her. Nicholas was a bit skeptical about it and we had a fight, but you know me, Natalia is at the pack house. I didn't want to bring her home because I didn't want to upset you. Apparently she was using the chains to hit at her own tummy and that's why you felt that pain. That bastard, I hiss in anger. I wish she would just die and leave me alone. I have a plan baby, he tells me while massaging my hair lightly, so you have to trust me no matter what. His statement makes my forehead crease into a slight frown. What do you mean? Just trust me, okay? I want to finish all this once and for all in just one fell swoop, so whatever happens, you must trust me and know that I love you, okay? Okay baby, I trust this man more than my life and whatever he says is the truth to me. I trust you with my life. Good, now let's get some sleep my love. I will make sure I put an end to everything tomorrow, but tomorrow is our wedding, you. Shhh, he press his index finger on my lips. You only need to trust me kitten. Maybe my wedding ceremony will be a lot more than I would be expecting, but since this man says I should trust him, I will with everything inside of me. Join our Facebook and WhatsApp group for more updates, link is given in description. Rest audiobook will be continued in next episode.